Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It is Tuesday evening, and this evening we are talking face to face learning. Mhm. Now, if you watched my live on Sunday night, about 5 minutes in, I talked about Patrick having watched the Sunday morning show with Laura Kunsberg. Excuse me. And the fact that the Chancellor more than once used the phrase face to face learning. And I said on the live, this concerns me that he started planting that. Because previously, through the lockdown, it was the kids were either back at school or they were doing online learning. There was no such thing as face to face learning, that was being at school. So you can imagine today when I saw a report on Sky News about online schools. Mhm. And how online schools have now been invited to apply for accreditation with Ofsted, the official standards watchdog for education. So I made notes. So what they did is they did a report on a young girl a teenager who hated school with a vengeance, would hide in her cupboard rather than go to school, tears every morning. And her mother found this online school. And the online school costs £6,000 a year. And this young girl studies in the home office that they have in a shed in the garden. So, she has her own wee space. And according to her, she finds it easier to focus. It's not as noisy, not as distracting. And her marks have gone up considerably. So I went and had a look, and on the report for Sky News, it says that the government is inviting online providers to apply for Ofsted accreditation so that these online schools can be properly assessed as a suitable alternative. See where I'm going with this? Now, at the moment, there are 25 online schools, 13 of whom have applied for accreditation. 2 of which have been turned down because they didn't meet the eligibility for the scheme. Now, this is September 2023, which means that the school year finished, July 2023? In March 2023, so like 4 months beforehand, that's when the government opened applications for online schools to apply for accreditation. And that's the government started now mentioning face-to-face learning. Are we making sense yet? So, especially now, where we're like September, but actually August, because the government knew in August about the concrete, this rack concrete. So March, they opened for applications. And in August, everything hit about the rack, so they're having to close schools. But oh, look, how many will they manage to accredit? Or how many online schools will they manage to give accreditation to in the near future? I wonder. How many people out there, especially if you're not able to put your child into private education, or if your child's getting bullied, or if they're struggling, how many parents will find £6,000 for a whole year to put their children to an online school? Have them at home, on their computer, doing their work. I think there may be many taking off soon or heading to online learning. And the fact that now it's been on Sky News, now please, I have to clarify also, I forgot to clarify this at the beginning, this is England only at the moment. This report was from England, and Ofsted, it's for English schools. But yeah, all of a sudden there's a clarification point or a delineation from the Chancellor about face-to-face learning as opposed to being at school. And now, 3 days later, 2 days later, there's a report on Sky News about online learning and the schools being accredited by Ofsted as a suitable alternative. So there you go. That's something to think about. Because if we've picked that up this quickly, you know it was in Sky News today. There's going to be a lot more people picking this up. They need to get the kids out of the schools where this rack concrete is. Wonder how many online schools they'll be sending them to. So there you go. That's just my wee suspicious brain. So I thought I would tell you that. Also this evening, to just say we are extending our no spend. Our no spend's going to run as long as I can possibly run it. I've just heard about some extra expenses that I'm going to have with mum and care homes and stuff and things and just stuffs. So we're now going from prepping to being frugal. We are going to start like proper cutting down. And I've always said that there's always levels of cutting down your expenditure. With my prepping and saving wastage, etc. That was the main level. I'm going to step it up a bit because I need to save money and I need to save money urgently. So that's what I'm going to do. So no doubt you will be getting some videos about some very strange meals or concoctions. And yeah, that's what it's going to be. So wish me luck. Here's hoping. I'll catch you later.